Добрый вечер, уважаемые. Мой мега-стрим продолжается. Продолжаю играть в Kingdom Come Deliverance, в историю кузнеца. В общем, немножко поиграл. Там начало такое, что мне батя дал задание забрать гвозди, получить деньги, купить там что-то. Я алкаш меня отпиздил, который должен гвозди, деньги за гвозди забрать. Пожаловался маме. В общем, так и ничего. Получилось забрать деньги. Батя мне просто так деньги, иди купи угля. Выкули меч для боярина. И, собственно, на деревню пацанишки напали. Чадно. Грабили всех. А он не успел укрыться в замке и забался. Забался в соседний замок. В соседнем замке он сообщил, там наших напали. А, это мусор. Ладно. Ну так вот. Давай, иди. Нас там подлечили. Мы решили похоронить своих родителей. У нас новый котировал какой-то разбойник. У нас была девчонка, позвал охрану. Сейчас. Кстати, владелец замка, на который напали, в котором в городе, в девушке жил. Этот персонаж. У него получилось ночью в бурю поскользнуть мимо захватчиков. И он пришел в гости сюда. Вот и... Вот. Мы пришли сюда, сказали, что мы меч благополучно просрали, который для него выкололи с отцом. И поступили мы у нас. В это время там уже больше расследований провели насчет нападения на вот. Пробую постираться. Или... Да купи. Не можно свою белишку. Все в крови, все запачкано. Огонь. Достаточно. Им откройся. Точно? Кому вы сегодня?
Welcome, Henry.
Здорово. О. Где помыться там? Жду пустил. Это такое в боди. Карты. Пальма. Там какие нам что-нибудь уровни? И не сказано. Это полностью можно.
Who's there? Answer me.
Как тут я?
I'm glad to see you.
What was that? What are you doing?
Hey, what?
Погоди. Очень интересно. Я больше 5 минут помыться. Понятно, даже гайда не написано. Как стираться? Что купили? Купальник.
Greetings, Henry.
Здорово, здорово. В оригинале же зовут его Индрих. Ну, тупые англосаксы. Ой, пардон.
Welcome, Henry.
А, добро пожаловать. О, сержант. Спит дольше всех. Как нельзя, что ли?
Hey, is someone there? What?
Он.
Stop by.
Да, конечно.
What is it?
Чего спите? Как долго?
God save.
Три.
Watch where you're going.
Ладно, пока они тут соображают, надо к портному съездить. Хронику, чтобы... Нет, все враги нам правильно сюда. Оп. Хорошо, когда есть ваша.
How are you, Henry?
Нормас. Так. Что у нас? Закрыто-то? Дай пилить. Партнер. В 9-то, наверное, откроется. Кто был? Был. Главное, это забыл. Ручку надо. Это прикольно. Это прикольно. Вот, открыто.
Good help.
Здорово.
How are you, Henry?
I'm fine. Окей. Ни чешского не знаю. Торговать. А торговать? А ремонт как? О! Как? Модная рубашка. Так. В смысле? Ты что не можешь починить?
God save Henry.
How are you, Henry?
Еще говорит. А вот что нужно. А, вот ты умеешь чинить, чувак. Починишь мне, да? Шматенки мои.
Good health to you, Henry.
Давай, что ты задумался?
Good health to you.
Ты тоже. Он бронник.
Cucumbers, lovely cucumbers.
Нас
I'm glad you came. How's it going?
рабочий.
Can you show me how to repair armor and weapons better?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
What the hell?
Он торговец, он же... А, значит, вот можно. Пока. Торчит меня. Задание. Поедем в старый конный завод. Вы подгружайтесь.
God save you, Henry.
Welcome, Henry.
Hey.
Держи.
Hey. Oh. What's where you going?
Окей, дерзкий торговец.
You told me you'd teach me something useful.
Aye, and I keep my word.
How are you doing?
Good, good. No one's trying to cut my throat, and I've got a proper roof over my head again.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
Sometimes, when I go to the courtyard at night and there's a sudden...
What the hell are you doing?
God save Henry.
Вот что. Так. В смысле ничего комбинировать? А вот как чинить? Поехали в Ужицу. Пробуем понять. Аккуратно, что ли? Окей. Давайте дальше по линии. Лагерь Жогов. Профессия такая, как при дереве будет подвес. О, стрим познавательный. Ок. Ты где? Ролик. Ну, каково это стрелять из люка? Или кто-нибудь? Да, это сидит. Промазал. Листьяка. Блин, прям чуть-чуть. Все должно быть. Ирьяна. Даем травку. Покорительную траву. А, блин, еще мне найти либо это. Ролик, ты где? Не, ну в упор это, конечно, его промазывать. Ролик. Вот как вот в миллиметре над душкой у него пролетел, а? Попал. А ну, погнали. Хорошо. Я что ли? Это был. А, он уже сейчас будет. Хоть ничего. Потом. Ой. Ты протуху, что хочешь восстанавливать? Ну, мясо возьму. Родинах, бог знает где. В смысле, я охотился. Ну дела. Можно приготовить? Нет, все. Пожрем тогда. А, и да. Спать хочет. Погнали дальше. Скачем до Ужицы. Ужицы, город такой. А, да, зачем нам нужно в Ужицу? Дело в том, мы узнали, посыльно сделал, узнали, что нападавший, один из нападавших, это где-то там. Он хромой. Надо его найти. Ну, болото. Интересно. Чуешь, мать?
What did you do? You killed him?
Me? What do you mean, me? It was you. You killed him.
I didn't kill anyone. When I got here, the body was already lying there.
What are you doing here? Nearby a corpse? Nearby a murder?
I'm travelling the province in the service of Sir Radzig Kabila.
Sir Radzig? Heavens! Begging your pardon. I didn't mean anything. All right. I suppose you're innocent after all.
I'm glad you saw sense. We'll just have to report it to someone. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do.
А вот на Ужице меня. Работает. В смысле? Он и завод, да? Конечно, это. О! Для меня нет преград. Вы тут умеете? Что? На обеде? Фотку стрелять можно. Абсолютно. Ладно. О, фига себе. Четко как узнал.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
If that's what you call nothing to see, I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him.
Sakra. Nothing's ever easy.
Вот это жесть, вот это поворот.
I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know.
У их-то же все такие шапочки модные.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now, and nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with
Итак.
anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
Another thing about Lubosh. I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but
Who was this Lubosh?
you could see at first glance he was no good.
Have you noticed anything suspicious?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time, and then yesterday he turned up at the church and even talked.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing?
I don't think he was home.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend?
As far as I know, he had.
That's all. Thank you.
Юзеф. Юзик. Я когда-то когда он
God
назвал.
be with you.
Что ты мне
Come
можешь
in the
сказать?
name of Sir Hanush of Lipe.
I don't know nothing about it, but
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. I was wondering what he was up to take...
Do you know
Так,
what
мне кажется,
Lubosh
я
was
тоже...
doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was...
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometime.
That's all. Thank you.
Ладно, всех поспрашиваю.
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir...
Of course.
That man Lubosh who...
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody liked...
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen...
Do you know what Lubosh...
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone Lubosh...
He was a loner. He didn't even...
That's all. Thank
Прошу. Вашик. Ну, скажешь.
God be with you.
Шик, Вашик.
Jesus! Look where you're going!
Good day to you. What do you...
Опять дожди. Я тут попробую подкатывать к одной мадам, все время нравятся дожди, а гулять дождь не собирается. Вот такие дела. Город. Вон, пью. Все на то же, что ли?
I've come in the name of...
I don't know how I can help you, but ask.
Do you know who Lubosh...
As far as I know, he had...
That's all. Thank you.
Есть кто-нибудь? Джедай! Хо! Блин, очень.
I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanosh is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it.
That's really not a lot of help to me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I...
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
But Lubosh is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a cornerstone of the Holy Church. If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians? Worse than the murderer escaping punishment?
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Янгус. Тот ли самый? Проматор. Пескай цирк. Почему читать? Да. Писец. Второй писец.
God be with you.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a priest or clerk. But why not? I've taught all sorts. Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few groschen.
Да.
All right. I don't want to waste time. We can get...
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days so I can put you through your pay...
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart.
А теперь буква Ешка.
Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit.
То есть книгу? Это мини-игра, что ли, будет? Нифига себе.
There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
Как-то раз. Подойдя к гнезду своего маршрута, круто сверкающий. Поднял, и что казалось тяжелым словом. Эти крестьяне решил было выбросить, подумав, что его кто-то разыграл. Однако, поразмыслив, он взял его домой и вскоре от великой радости обнаружил сделанное из чистого золота. Каждое утро повторялось то же самое. Вскоре он разбогател, даже золотых количеством сильней ключевой жадности, решил брать разом все золото, которое могло принести. Убил ее, сплошил, однако внутри ничего нет. Рассказка. Так, а теперь у меня вопрос будет задавать? Я прочитал.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So tell me, what have you learned?
That being greedy doesn't pay.
Excellent. You're one of my most talented pupils. You've uncovered the meaning hidden in the letters. Like I told you, books are valuable, and the words that you place in them ought to be no less...
Does that mean that I can read then?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language... There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're...
You're a clever lad.
Это я умный, да. То же самое, что ли? Est libri ta malsu, ut non aliqua apre просит. Что-то просит. Librimути amixtri snut. Ratrest и passu verbis. Такс. Я нифига не понял. Вербис говорить, наверное.
I read the page.
So tell me, Distrupule, what's written there?
Nullus est
aliqua parte просит.
tam malus, ut non alique parte prosit.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go and be ordained right away.
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot wiser.
Все, я умею читать. Борщ мне купить. Спасительный. Короче, тут у него пиваса. Будет у нас классно. Какой договор? Василий, что такое, дорогой? У тебя обычный был зевлик? Ну-ка. Пивка. Пивка сюда. Есть 300. Можно мечом спать. Бушного. Пистона меч. Ну что-то что это? Ой, мечом увеличилось, ну-ка 300%. Опа. Ничего, не меня. Ой, не, нифига. Вечер. Уйди, что?
Hear ye, good people, and what of our own priests, our own prelates, they who trade in indulgences for coin, keepers of brothels, who fornicate there and covet worldly goods, such an abundance to our Lord Jesus Christ, who lives without money, without shelter, without possessions of any kind, and spread the word of God, who lives and lives.
God bless.
Holy Mother Church, and if you have not known, you even have two popes.
Отче, он делся. Оказывается, друг ты.
Hey!
Друг ты. Что?
Without possessions of any kind, and spread the word of God.
Где же наш батюшка?
Here we are.
Love thy neighbor more than thyself.
What is it?
Oh.
They heed the word, those bellies, they fleece you of your life.
Got it for you right here.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work some. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I...
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh. I'm sorry. What about your...
They're dead.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, it must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna.
My poor child. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Uzis, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo?
over here, please.
The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted... I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling a...
I see it's every bit as bad as people claim. Well then, here's to those poor souls.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword.
You know what they say.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Ну что, ну, чуть-чуть прививать.
Well,
Говорят,
we've had an agreeable
понятно.
chat, but now let's get down to business.
Перейдем к делу.
About this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions if people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again and I can't stop them.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
Ну, знаешь. Так.
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But...
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the idea?
Well, Uzits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard.
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Вот, ну как же.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Ch, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison.
Ничего с тех пор не изменилось.
Is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay. What if the devil himself were to pay? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless service, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no... Look to your consciences, you robbers. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation...
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny.
That last bit reminds...
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman, and then...
No, I don't.
Here, just as you ordered.
What do you think of this?
He's certainly a wise man. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure...
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're...
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people...
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most...
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally up... it's getting quite late.
What do you suppose?
That sounds...
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Yeah. Замечательная песенка. Все, накидались.
Enough of this.
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
Кажется, я попал.
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Вот что. Какая пьянчушка без драки.
Come on then, bailiff. You want to fight? So come and get it. Don't worry.
Опа. Помог.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Фига себе, то есть он не может нам это Таинство. Здесь поведет сказать. Попить.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Что, тут тоже будет мини-игра? Нет? Все сделают за меня. Похмелье оно такое. Пьянство. Или пьян. Эх, я ж все-таки пиво надо пить. Пиво. Лапнутый.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Мужик не... Ладно, ходит пьяница не изб...
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And
Это
now you want
приключение.
me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Можно стоит бегать дело?
Well,
No, neither can I.
what do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll...
Christ almighty.
Wonderful. What's the matter with you? We have to start mass. It's already late.
Время. Кстати, там опаздывает.
Come on, Henry.
Are you serious? Jesus, look where you're going.
Хоть не одежду дай. В доспехах же уступать. Бум.
I thought he'd never show up. The swill pop.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
walls. I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabilis a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters.
Boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth, the accursed wealth that the church is drowning in. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock, they show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by... You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and...
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach. Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk...
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such... For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful.
He's right.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about. What if the devil himself were to pay? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor, they play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor.
Down with the prelates. Away with...
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a...
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows, let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbour one virtuous deed, and that applies both to priests and...
That's his conclusion?
That is all I heard in Prague.
Эх.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that Hus.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver
Glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko. Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
На охоте можно неплохо зарабатывать, так это.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Неплохо. Ехали. Он против как там. Обратно. Проехали. Интересно. Отлично. Вот рано. Алхимию. Значит. Так, может видеть. Похмелье действует. Похмелье. Эта игра хорошая, да. Можно плотать. А, нужно связать.
You're the young fellow who came here from Skalitz, half dead, aren't you?
Yes, that'll be me.
The lady of the castle was asking after you. She want...
Ah, I'll go and see.
Very well. Don't... Hey!
Конечно. Инициатива.
Be a bit more.
Хорошо.
A good day to you. What do you need?
How are the Talmberg folk getting on?
Do you even have to ask? I heard from the stonemasons there's been some trouble at the quarry. Hope it doesn't drive them away. I just hope Sir Divish and his quarrymaster get it. Let me think now. You're that lad from It is you, ain't it? Well, you ought to ask folk in Rovna how they're doing. Some of them come here for an ale now.
Этого нет.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Другая деревня какая-то. Понятно. Подождет. Вроде же писали, что там подождать. Ах, не стоит заставлять ждать, значит. Сразу поворот. Едем еще. Понял, что-нибудь расскажешь? Может, поможешь починить что-то?
Jesus Christ be praised.
Is there anything
Interesting? You know, I always liked the Neuhof horses best. Old Smeal was killed in that raid, and I'm afraid...
Good day to you. What do you...
I have some trophies.
Show me. Good work. That's the way.